time of year with a lazy late summer sun meets a hot summer breeze. The wildflowers in the field willingly soak up both to produce a vibrant spectacle of color that has me feeling conflicted. Caught between my ancient love for winter and a newly budding, reluctant departure from the amiable days of these short northern summers. But with great summer comes great lawn care, and with great lawn care comes mowing, which up until today hasn't been all that great. For the past couple of years, since I bought this property and started renovating the place, I've been mowing its ever-growing lawn with a battery-powered handheld string trimmer. In those years, the lawn has ever expanded, starting from a pile of brush, growing some rock walls, and finally ending up where it is now. With the yard showing no signs of slowing its growth spurt, though, I figure it's time to embrace my middle-class roots and start getting serious about lawn care. Today, we're going to transform my heavy, vibrous, four-arm character-building string trimmer into a sleek, modern push mower, the likes of which the world has never seen, and will never see again. It starts, as all great achievements do, by sifting through this unorganized box of random steel bits until one particular piece is found. It may be far from perfect, but every maker knows that warm, glowing feeling invoked by finding the prophesized piece of stock. That one piece, amongst the litany of piles of heaps of scrap that speaks directly to the soul of a project. Its unintended curves and rust spots creating a Michelangelo rivaling tapestry with their negative space, shaped in just the right way that everything becomes clear. The piece has been found. In this case, it was this piece of hot-rolled 1-inch square steel that came from a miscellaneous drop cuts box I bought a while ago. I previously chopped it in half and started filing it flat for some long-forgotten project. I must have decided filing it flat wasn't worth the effort, though, because it's been sitting in this box, bulbously, for a number of months, perhaps even years. Eons and eons of time as this metal lay in its collective plastic sarcophagus, never realizing that it wasn't doomed, just slated by some unknown god for some unknown purpose at some unknown point in time. Your time has come at last, little 1-inch square stock. Oh, how your time has come at last. So to that end, we need to get to squaring of this 1-inch square stock. Does anyone else get irrationally attached to random tooling? And I do mean random, because what my brain chooses to get attached to doesn't seem to follow any rhyme or reason that I can suss out. In this case, this particular end mill, 1/4-inch diameter with longer than usual cutting flutes. I rarely use it, because I have a 1/4-inch regular length end mill that is far more practical in most cases. So it's pretty odd that I formed such a warm sentiment towards this longer end mill of all the end mills I own. Anyway, this block forms what I like to call the saddle of this lawnmower. That being on account of the string trimmer riding along atop the wheels of our horse, just like the feet of a horse, in this saddle, comfortable as a button, perhaps a button in the shape of a horse. Sorry, I know I should be talking about horses, but I just can't get this out of my head. The two end mills are identical other than the length. They're both tungsten carbide, both 1/4-inch, both bought at the same time from the same manufacturer, arriving in the same box. But for whatever reason, I formed an irrationally erotic relationship with the longer end mill while not feeling remotely the same about the shorter version, despite it being far more practical and seeing far more use. Perhaps there is a lesson on attachment here. Those we interact with less frequently, those we push to the side, those we forego with musings of practicality over attraction. Perhaps those that we push away we love all the more. For to be near is to risk destruction, An intimate connection forged by close distance, magnifying all the particularities that distance obscures. Perhaps the distance itself helps to maintain some level of attachment over the much more obvious love forged in familiarity. Or perhaps I just have an attraction to cylindrical objects, and the longer the cylinder, the longer my attraction. Wait a minute. Who can say? I certainly cannot, and I get the feeling my fiancé would rather I don't explore further down this path of cylindrical seduction. I went back and forth on how to manufacture this top clamping bit. It screws down from the top of the string trimmer into the base block you just saw being made, thereby clamping the trimmer between the two, cementing it ever more to the axle, which spin about the wheels, which ground the whole apparatus to the good earth, ultimately all cemented together by the grandiose pull of gravity, down, down, deep, deep down, to whatever singular point happens to form the exact center of this fascinatingly inevitable pull. My original goal was to make this part out of wood, not because it should be made from wood, metal is far more appropriate, but because my conscience doesn't allow for tagging a video with woodworking unless it has at least one frame of actual woodwork in it. This is important, mainly because YouTube pushes woodworking videos out to far more people than it does for these primarily machining videos. Ultimately, practicality and reason won out over YouTube stardom ambitions. So if you like practical light metal, be sure to let me know in the comments. Perhaps if we work together, I can achieve my YouTube stardom goals and you can enjoy the sight of more light metal bits. Perhaps even some heavy metal bits, if our combined efforts can garner enough fame to procure a classic Corvette spaceflight landing sequence. Reunited with my beloved. Look at that dull gray sheen, those spectacularly sharp edges, the delightfully welcome but oft unexpected weight of tungsten. Truly a beautiful sight to behold. With sadness filling my heart, I am finally ready to accept humility. I knew this setup was sketchy. My reluctance to accept the facts of reality, to forge ahead in the face of reason, cost this unique metallic soul its life. This setup really shouldn't be sketchy, but my mill still needs a proper deep tuning pass. I haven't really given it much love other than a quick clean and a few shoddy attempts at tightening the gibs, perhaps distracted by the love I've been showering on my now deceased end mill. There is still a good deal of slop in the table, not to mention the head, that I need to chase down and wrangle out. With a relatively thin piece of stock like this, and such a long cut, the flex turned out to be too much for this relatively small but very courageous carbide end mill. And snap. My heart is pierced by the harsh cry of shattered tungsten carbide. My hubris and horrifying negligence lay plain before you for all to see. May my shame serve as recompense for my negligent actions. Perhaps my beloved end mill will find some solace from the box of valuable tooling metals it resides in now, a graveyard of history and mistakes, knowing that I have learned from its sacrifice and that in its painful absence, I somehow find the strength to grow. In time, I hope to find another end mill to love, if I deserve such fate. But for now, my tender heart needs a 1/4 inch by 1.5 inch cylinder of space in which to grieve.
I can say that I'm fine, I watch the days keep moving on. I will never get over that you're gone. And I know that you'll always be the last thing on my mind.
That's enough grieving for now. I hope we've all had a good cry and gotten it out of our system so we can resume the main program. Remember this little guy? It's the axle we made in the wheel video a couple of weeks back. That's right. We're finally resolving the much anticipated cliffhanger my evil laughter instilled at the end of that video. It just needs a few modifications to work for this project. Nothing too in-depth, just a couple of cross holes for the uprights to slot through. And some milled flats to provide a nice welcoming resting surface for the uprights to lean against so neither has to sleep with their heads in the mud. Perhaps together they will go on to revolutionize the shrimp industry. Or perhaps they will find peace in the gentle mowing of a lawn and content their days with sunny, warm monotony. Whatever their future holds, the formation of these holes marks the culmination of all discrete effort needed in the production of this lawnmower. Hark, what's that? Is that an assembly montage I hear ramping up in the background? Oh, joyous day that we will at last be able to mow the lawn without tears of forearm's last lament streaming down our face. It seems there has been a fundamental failure of physics. Surely it must be physics that is flawed, for my design is perfect, enlightened, inspiring even. No, definitely not the design. To correct this flaw in physics, though, much as we shouldn't have to, we will need to change the design slightly. During planning, I needed to define whatever angle is necessary to keep this trimmer head level with the ground. Rather than commit to numbers, angles, or lifelong restrictions imposed by the duty of commitment, I did what I normally do when things start getting too planned out. What I do when I start hearing whispers from some dark recess in my mind about being a rat in a cage. I defined the angle as a pivot point instead, allowing for adjustment to any value between 0 and 360 that our heart desires. All sorts of fantastic possibilities I dreamed up for this pivot. Imagine a lawnmower that could angle over trees, rocks, dead possums, any sort of lawn debris you can dream of. Imagine a world where the dead possums of the past form the stepping stones of the future. A vision brought to ruin by dastardly physics, never supporting the art of the dreamer. Oh, all utopic dreams brought to ruin by harsh reality, forever uncemented by the unsteady wax and wane of multiple pivots. Far from trapezing amongst the treetops, dancing our way through the forests of Galadriel, tending and caring to her glorious garden, rapturous in our reverence. We instead fall, immediately and succinctly, upon our rotating faces, straight into the bosom of that good earth, down, down, deep, deep down, into the depths of despair. Perhaps this is our lesson today, summarized in one single stark word: humility. Once again, as we endeavored before with our beloved endmill, we find that the laws of reality refuse to bend to our will. Perhaps in time, with some practice and a bit more solder, we can find a path in which we can coexist with physics, putting aside our differences that we may see our dream become reality, that we may soar amongst the treetops evermore, dancing along the winds of life, mowing to our hearts and our forearms' content.